Hi, my name is Rado. I'm a digital marketing strategist. So I was requested by the team to basically make a one pager for you guys. So I took a few minutes to analyze your domain, made some list with ideas like how would we approach the the problem of organizing, scaling, structuring, and building the right infrastructure to go with traffic, with sales, uh, into the right direction that of course everybody expects, which is growth. So it has to be board ready. So I just combined really short points. Number one is all about North Star and aligning everybody around the same KPIs that will be expected from agency team members, from internal team members, and that the board and the CEO will understand. So we would start with just focusing and making sure that the data is collected and is correct. It's new data, new customer orders, revenue after returns, gross margin per order. Then we would investigate sample to order conversion, free samples measured order within 60 to 90 days. Then we would have to try to measure conversion and tie back conversion to the marketing activities, visits to dealer contact, booked consults, phone, email, form, basically mapping and making sure that we collect all the data that's possible to collect on the website. Then we've got paid media CAC. So CAC is customer acquisition cost, how much we pay for acquired customer on average. It can be all of the marketing costs divided by all of the customers we acquired in specific month. And then on average, how much we make and how long does it take to pay back for all the effort, all the costs that we have to invest to acquire new customers. And of course, in a perfect world, it would be great to divide it by channel, partnerships, marketplaces, vendors, resellers, points of sales. I'm not talking about only marketing. So because since we come from the old online world, scaling e-commerce businesses, apps, SaaS businesses in the US, and businesses having a lot of stores and physical footprint, it is possible to build a crazy advanced system. But I guess in case of your business that focuses heavily on the Netherlands and Germany and is focused on just one product, as you can see, I have a couple of charts that I would like to show you comparing you against some competitors like TopPoint, Kobe, and Decorate.nl. These are the ones that we found that are the most similar to you. I think that it makes sense to maybe focus on the basics and make sure that you have the right foundation to move forward. Of course, ROI curve is that every euro you invest on top of the existing euros doesn't give you the same result. So, and what's the percentage of the new customers mix versus recycled? It's critical to divide these two worlds. I believe that also the CRM you have will allow you to identify how many of them are new, how many of them are returning, and it is possible to even build apps that connect the whole customer journey across years, basically, and all the touch points from the website, resellers, from your content on the websites, from your product catalogs. That's the future, but it is possible technologically. But I think that in your case, it would be necessary to build and focus more on foundations. In likely blockers in first month number 1 or first 30 days, we would probably invest time into making sure that, assuming, and we speculate here, that you invest in search or retargeting, we would try to see how important that is in recycling demand and making sure that these people actually convert. Sometimes it happens that it causes inflated return on ad spend and basically weak results as a result. Sometimes it makes sense to cut, that there are methodologies to run an experiment and cut back on some spend and to see what's the drop down in terms of the metrics. And if there is no drop off, like we can continue and that's money saved, we can reinvest in some other place. Untracked offline handoff. So there are solutions to try to solve that problem of store locator to dealer, and that's probably missing, and that's problematic in terms of attribution. Then there is sample program, probably needs investigation. Then creative mismatch. It's necessary to question some of the activities on the Pinterest or Meta, if there are active activities, and test different creative assets in terms of performance. Then we would try to run 2 tests to switch off some of the activities. The first 2 methodologies are to focus on retargeting, then to focus on brand, and try to reinvest that into new channels like Pinterest if you're not investing into Pinterest already. Pinterest also, in talking about attribution, you have to be aware that each platform like Meta, Pinterest have their own attribution, and it is extremely important that you will not look and use that as a North Star in making decision where to invest money. It is necessary to look at the big picture, blended sales coming from all of the channels at once, and to run experiments like these ones. If you have a Pinterest campaign, you have to switch it off or switch off campaign in some of the regions to see what's the drop in conversions, or was the increase in terms of in case you switch on a campaign, so that you could know what's the baseline and what's the difference, incremental difference on top of the changes. Okay, so 30, 60, 90. First, fixing analytics and CRM, dealer logs, fixing attribution, basically event tracking, and making sure that you can tag sample packs with some unique codes or keyword codes, so that you could know and have more data collected. Then run the 2 lift tests, or 3, depending on what kind of activities you invest in already. Fix store locator UX, less friction, appointment microcopy, creative split, investing time in add creatives, room scene versus app fabric macro, and so on. Then in the next 90, be possible to maybe relocate from losers to winners and present the results of optimized capital invested in marketing to the board. So I don't know, that's more or less how we would try to approach the situation. So the next steps, if you're interested, would be to basically go and try to reverse engineer what the competitors have done well. So here are the competitors. Of course, they have different product catalog than your brand. A House of Happiness focuses on fabrics. All the other competitors, we try to find the most similar ones. They focus on different. They have more. They have wider product selection, and but that allows them to basically have more traffic because of that. So that's one question A House of Happiness doesn't have visibility for, and we are talking about only the Dutch market. Additional investigation will be necessary for German market. But as you can see, these are the phrases that you don't have visibility for. Of course, I'm not a Dutch speaker, but I've worked on the Dutch market in the past, not knowing the language. And of course, it makes sense now. It's possible to do it with AI, and you have with all the translations and everything. Of course, you don't have a lot of the products that they offer, but it should be possible to identify basically the content and product lines and maybe blog posts that you are not visible for yet, since your visibility is also like, it's a question mark, like what you've done with the number of pages. So this is the blue line, this is your page. You have over 4,000 pages indexed in Google compared to competitors that have way less. And the competitors actually, in terms of like overall investment in paid traffic, they invest more in paid traffic, especially the red line, which is Decorate. But in here, as you can see, the average organic traffic that they receive is much higher than you. You are the blue line here. And still, it is quite a lot. I believe that it's thanks to the very vast network of resellers and points of sales and dealers that you've built. So, but still, I believe that the SEO visibility is critical, especially adjusting your domain visibility and content to the needs of the AI, large language models like ChatGPT or Gemini. It is necessary to adjust the content. So yeah, that's number one. Maybe fixing the analytics depending on the state, where how much of all of that you already track, combining CRM data with web analytics data, maybe tie it together into platforms that allow you to track the whole customer journey of specific companies that interact with your domain, like Dream Data or Hockey Stack. They connect with CRM and they connect with web analytics, and they tie these two worlds together. So that's something that not a lot of companies have implemented, but that's another level. So yeah, that's our one pager. So in case you would like to reach out and work with us and, find people who are ready to jump in and try to, run experiments, run new channels, build custom analytics solutions, tie it all together. And of course, enhance your SEO visibility, maybe run paid traffic. We are here to help. All right. Thanks a lot for your time and take care.